The Foundation Archangel Michael, you are loved, you are honored, and you are sustained by God the Creator, who is all. Living in the light begins the day you become aware of your needs and desires, your longing for things and people, your desire for success and abundance. This is the solid foundation upon which the walls of a house in which spirit can dwell are built. These are the walls upon which the roof of desirelessness, the highest manifestation of your awakened divine consciousness, can be erected. A person who lacks this grounded awareness of self, or who continually withdraws from it, can neither stand nor live in the light. Only after a person has completed the work on their foundation, their spiritual base, can their spiritual house be built and the roof of knowledge placed upon the stable masonry. In today's consciousness work in the grace of God, we will focus on how you can live in the light in your everyday life. What does it mean not to stand in the way of God with your own needs and desires, and what is necessary to put this insight into practice? Do you need a master for this, or can you master it yourself? We'll get to the bottom of these questions today, here and now. It all starts with, beloved person, everything begins with a first step. Never take the second step before the first, or the third step before the second. Everything begins with the first thought, the first feeling, the first action. This is how people travel through their lives, spreading their wings at the right time, when the time has come for the next step in their development. Not taking the second step before the first means seeing and accepting what is now showing itself to you, working with it and living with it. Do you have desires and needs? Live them instead of suppressing them. Accept them and realize yourself by first acknowledging what is. Because only a person who knows their needs and desires can one day give them up. What do you want to give up if you neither know nor have ever lived what you want to give up? Cloud 7 or shadow work. Many spiritual seekers soar to Cloud 9, erecting a spiritual roof without walls, and building walls on sandy ground without a solid foundation. Thus, disappointment is inevitable. Hastily withdrawing from earthly life without ever having lived always leads to disillusionment and frustration. The reason why so many spiritual light workers leave their path after years and return to the dense plane of this matrix is simply because they declare themselves to be light and love without having redeemed their own shadows. Those who walk through their shadows stand in the light, not those who avoid them. Neglected shadow work eventually catches up with a person, and so ends the dream of a spiritual life, of awakening and enlightenment. What happens is that widespread spiritual concepts seduce people into simple spiritual solutions. Little importance is given to the foundational spiritual work. As a result, people cannot be reached from anywhere, because for a long time they don't recognize themselves as needy. As long as the everything is light and love illusion works its magic, there is nothing for such a person to see and nothing to recognize. Only when people's concepts are subjected to a reality test does the actual process begin, and for people who have no practice in working with themselves and their shadows, this is an insurmountable hurdle. In this way, many people leave the spiritual path and only return to it when they are satiated or disappointed by the special offers for enlightenment, so that they want to put enough energy into their own shadow and light work. Because, without resolving fundamental issues, a departure from the spiritual path is inevitable. The only key to preventing this is to live authentically from within. To do this, you need to compare your actual ability to love with reality, to see your own truth, to know your own status and to make changes if necessary, to penetrate to your true self-worth and to perceive your place on earth. Only a truthful perspective can achieve this. Illusions delay, prevent, and thwart your awakening. Therefore, your humanity is paramount. Savor the human element. Anyone who wishes to experience the divine and their own divinity must savor, love, and live the human condition. This is the fastest path to God, the most direct way to ultimately place everything, one's worries and happiness, in God's hands. Do you want to live with God, penetrate to God, accept God as your only true guru? First, penetrate into yourself, try to live with yourself and accept the reflections that God sends you as your guru throughout your life. Nowhere do you encounter God more directly than in your everyday life. Life is your master, your everyday life is full of opportunities, whether realized or missed, because God encounters you in many images on your path to mastery. Why it's important for you throughout your life, to know yourself before you can know God, because only one who has understood himself can grasp God. In this way, it is important to give food to the hungry and drink to the thirsty. Only when these basic needs are met can a person open themselves to the divine. Never second-guess the first means recognizing what is manifesting in your life now and responding accordingly. If you master your lessons, life's abundance will richly reward you. Living the light means living what you are now. There is neither a better nor a worse version of you. What exists is what you are now. If shadows exist, embrace and love them instead of ignoring or repressing them. This is how you move towards spiritual maturity. You have the choice to reap unripe spiritual fruit or wait for your soul's maturity. Why it works: live your life with the light you are now, with the love you can give now, free from wishful thinking and without conceit. Look at your true self-image, enjoy the beauty and work on the unexposed areas. How to live in the light? The answer is here. Your spiritualization comes as soon as your humanization is complete. Nothing can be forced on the spiritual path, everything is given as soon as the person is mature and ready, and until then, live your life and tend the garden of the soul so that the harvest will be a rich one. JJK, that's so beautiful and so powerful. Do I understand that correctly? Having desires, admitting them to yourself, and manifesting them until you lose interest in them on your own.